getting you from Chicago today?
Yeah, I'm up in Chicago.
Got it. Did you plan on being there for the lockdown? I believe that you lived there full time and you moved there a number of years ago.
Yeah, I moved up here in the last 2 years. So just staying inside, just kind of chilling, doing press, and all you can really do at the moment.
Is Chicago entirely under lockdown at the moment, or is it more of a suggested kind of mandatory stay in?
Pretty much they've shut down all of the stores and restaurants and stuff, and of course people can still go out and do some stuff if they need to, but it's not like I have family in Italy where it's completely locked down, so it's not there yet. But I don't know. I wouldn't imagine, or I imagine at some point that it could possibly be like that here too.
What are some of your favorite spots in town that you do eventually hope to get back to?
I live in a pretty cool spot, just pretty much in between, I guess I am technically in Logan Square, but between here and Wicker Park, Bucktown. So, pretty much where all the happening spots are. Definitely, all the restaurants that I like to go to once in a while, go to the good spots downtown. It's when you can't go places and you have to kind of hunker down. It's a bummer, especially here though, because there's so many things, so many places to go, and I'm still kind of new to the city, so there's a lot of spots I haven't even been to yet because it's such a big city.
Where do you stand on the Chicago versus Brooklyn pizza argument, or at least debate?
I don't have any Brooklyn roots for me, but I would definitely say, the Chicago pizza is definitely a lot heartier than the Brooklyn one. But my dad's from Italy, so I definitely am partial to the thinner styles overall. I would definitely eat that more often, but the deep dish is definitely an epic meal when you're down for it.
And do you have a favorite pizza spot in town there in Chicago?
You know what? I've hit a couple places, but I feel I don't have a definitive one yet. I need a few more years here. I'm gonna need to hit a couple more spots before I can be oh, this is my place. I feel I'm still testing out the waters and searching for my main place.
Makes sense to me. So moving ahead to the music here, is your album still slated to come out on April 24th?
Yeah, we're moving ahead on the schedule. Luckily, I think all of our vinyls were pressed, so we got that just under the wire, pretty much, because I know there's some issues kind of coming up with a lot of other bands, and I know a lot of bands have kind of postponed their releases, but we were just pretty much telling the label and management that we want to put the record out no matter what, and we're expecting that there'll probably be some sales that, you might lose from not being able to have everyone go out and pick up a copy, a physical copy. But, at this point, we just want people to have the new music and be able to enjoy something while everyone's kind of going through this.
The single Catastrophist immediately took off on YouTube, and it's a great music video, although a little prophetic as to what's going on right now.
Yeah.
When you guys in the video are sitting on the couch and enjoying the popcorn and the beer and all that, were you actually watching anything on a television?
No, the television was lit. It was there was some light on there, not only from the TV, but a light underneath to kind of light us up. So it was pretty much just static for us to watch.
That's the magic of filmmaking right there.
Yep.
Have you already started making a second music video? And I ask that because some bands you don't know, they might have made 10 videos before the album's even out.
Well, we've been teasing out the What the Dead Men Say video that is being released tomorrow. So if you go on our site, obviously we've got a bunch of clips. We have a cool little promo thing that's going on with that. And tomorrow the video will debut.
When you wrote that song for the album, did you know that right away it was the title track, or did you have the song and later on that made sense to call the album that?
We were kind of going back and forth on calling it Catastrophist and also calling it What the Dead Men Say, and we ended up going with What the Dead Men Say because we'd never had an album title like that, and Catastrophist, we were just kind of maybe people wouldn't, I feel most people would kind of put some sort of meaning to it, but we felt What the Dead Men Say was just a stronger title for people to kind of latch onto right away.
And with albums and all that, a lot of artists talk about how albums aren't important and it's just about singles and EPs. That's obviously not the case with Trivium, who's getting bigger and bigger every single album. So that leads me to wonder, when you guys realized that you weren't going to be dependent on singles per se, that this was a long-term touring model where you do an album every 2 years or so and you just keep growing.
I think the album is just such a great way to present a new idea to people. And, while I think singles are super important, of course, the singles that we choose are really important to the entire album. I think you just don't generate the same sort of excitement if you're just releasing individual songs, which of course, there's times where we'll release maybe a B-side, or we'll have a special song come out for a game or something, which I think is kind of different, but it's tied to something. Whereas an album, it's this is your chance to make your art. And for us, it's each song has something to it that makes this album a whole and makes it this collective moment for the band. And I just think an album is just so important for that. And maybe the mediums have changed, but I do think they're still important. Of course, streaming has changed the way people consume music and consume albums, but for our genre, I just feel it's still an album-oriented genre. And for Trivium fans, they just want more Trivium. So if we were just kind of doing the single thing, I don't think we would generate the same excitement.
All these years later, you're still making music for Roadrunner. What is it that keeps you there, obviously, besides it being an incredible label with a tremendous back catalog?
I mean, we've just had a really good relationship with the label. And, of course, over the years, things have changed with, who owns the label and all that kind of stuff. But there has been a core group of people that we've been working with since day one, which has been really nice for us. And, they've let us do our thing. They've let us, experiment, try things, they grow. And we just have a very good working relationship with them. And, we actually, this new album is the first of a new deal with Roadrunner. So we actually completed our original contract with the label and we re-signed with the label. So that was kind of a cool thing for us because we actually got through an entire record deal, which is, I think, kind of, I don't know what the stats would be for that, but I feel that's not totally the norm for the music industry. And so I was very stoked we were able to do that.
That is probably lower than 5% considering how many bands get dropped by big labels after the second record. So is the summer tour with Megadeth and Lamb of God still on as far as you know? No delays or nothing like that?
Yeah, everything's on schedule. Of course, everyone's kind of paying attention to what's happening, and, a lot of the health concerns are out of our hands, and, we're not going to put ourselves or our fans in jeopardy if it feels like, things are not good by then. But the hope is that, there'll be some sort of mitigation with what's happening and some sort of plan in place that obviously we wish we could do something to help because we don't want to move the tour. But, the worst case scenario is tour dates get moved, but it's better to be safe, keep people safe than, to try to go out and do something that could harm people.
Well, I'm definitely hoping that the show comes to Jones Beach in New York as planned.
Definitely.
Do you like playing amphitheaters in general, or as, musicians tend to call them, sheds?
I don't know. I'm a little kind of, they're hit and miss for me. It depends on the layout because not every shed is the same. If there's a good front pit area where there's a standing audience, that's definitely cool. Sometimes when it's the seats up to the whole way, that's a little awkward in my opinion. But I mean, I get them for, especially for the big promoters that put on the shows. They're definitely good to have all those seats and stuff. But I mean, you can't really beat a big theater show or a hall. I prefer those types of shows, and there are going to be a few arena type shows on this tour as well. So I guess we'll get a little bit of it all. But it's going to be such a good lineup that for me, the audience I think will have a good time either way. It's just the layout of the venue is definitely different than playing in a big club or something.
And you've been in this band for over 15 years now. When I think about it, what do I know about you? I know that you're the bass player, you're a creative guy, you speak Italian, but what is life like for you outside of the band?
Pretty chill. I mean, when I'm off tour and when I'm not doing band stuff, like I try to like enjoy my time at home, my girlfriend, with my dogs. You know, kind of get like a breather from things. And I'm very grateful that I have a job that allows me to be able to do that, because I know a lot of people don't. And, you know, I try to make sure that like I'm not like filling my plate up with so much stuff all the time that I'm just like stressed constantly. And I also feel like it kind of like helps me for writing music, because I don't feel burnt out. I don't feel like I have to sit down and write a song every day. I feel like, you know, when it's time to get back into that headspace, I dive in and I'll just go until I can, you know, make as much good stuff as I can and get those ideas like formed. But after that, you know, I like to just focus on the touring and kind of separate things a little bit and give myself time to breathe.
So no surprising hobbies, no MMA or no polka?
No, none of that. Matt does the jiu-jitsu, so he's our jiu-jitsu guy of the band.
So in closing, being respectful of your time here, any last words for the kids?
Just please stay safe, and hopefully, you know, everyone will get back to normal if everyone kind of just follows the instructions out there and just kind of keep your distance, just enjoy some time off if you can, or just being at home with your family. Just, you know, enjoy that and enjoy your health while you have it.
Paltrocast.